we have returned from all space and time to the section of the internets where a captain and now the promoted Lieutenant Jason join you for another outstanding edition of Captain's Quadrant, where we review and speak on all things Star Trek here in the Captain's Quadrant. Jason, I just want to start off, sir, by congratulating you on the promotion.
Thank you. Thank you. Who knew that I would get promoted by cleaning out the holodeck?
Who knew? Yeah.
Remember I told you last episode that I had to go and clean them. I did it. So I got promoted for it. So I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, Admiral Jason was very pleased, so he gave you the right to the way. So you're doing better than Harry Kim. So congratulations there.
Poor Harry Kim. He really got screwed, didn't he?
Anywhere, yeah. I think Neelix was getting promoted faster than Harry Kim.
Yes. Yeah, that is true.
Man. Yeah, but we're here to talk about Star Trek Picard. And
episode 6,
which is insane that we're already almost done with this season. And
there's only what, 4 more, 3 more?
4 more, 4 more,
4
6.
more.
And we've got a little bit of Star Trek news at the end for you that I think you're going to be happy. If you don't know about it already, there was a big announcement in the middle of this episode because they didn't want to let it all out. So
huge news. If I'm thinking of the same news that you're thinking about, massive news.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. Huge news. So
should we get it started, sir?
Let's go. It's episode 6.
So it's time for this episode summary.
Here we go. With Talon's help, Picard and crew infiltrate a gala of the eve of a joint space mission to protect an astronaut they believe to be an integral to the restoration of the timeline. Kora makes a startling discovery about her father's work.
Yes.
So this was a good episode.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I actually wasn't looking forward to this episode, but I did really enjoy it. There was a couple of really cool elements which we'll talk about coming up that I loved.
Yeah. So let's jump into our pros and cons. Yes. I always love that image every time I see it. And if you're only listening to us on the podcast, make sure you go onto YouTube and check us out. Spectrum Sanctorum, Captain's Quadrant. And if you're here from the Catalyst Wrestling event where we were mentioned, make sure you comment below and your chance to win a sticker and some other various prizes. So let me tell you, this episode was really cool. The little combo that he had with his granddaughter, Picard had with her great grandmother. Grandmother rather. Yeah. I thought was really good.
Definitely a pro. That
was probably one of the highlights. So the writing in that particular section was very good.
I absolutely, one of my big pros is the interplay between the Borg Queen and
and Girardi.
Yeah, and Girardi. Just fantastic. Really loving where this is going.
Right. It's excellent writing. I think they really stepped it up a notch.
It just makes so much sense that Girardi, and I think this is where they're going, is the Borg Queen. Jumping ahead to future. Becomes the Borg Queen, as we've spoken about before. The way they're organically doing it, that interplay with both of them is fantastic.
Right.
And that Annie Werschling, who plays the Borg Queen, wow.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. We've got a very interesting way of filming this episode. I found it to be almost Tarantino, Guy Ritchie, non-linear storytelling, which worked really well, if you ask me. It kind of started out with Picard was on the floor bleeding, and I went, "Oh shit! Did I miss something at the end of the last episode?" And I almost wanted to wait, stop, let me go back, and no, but that's how this one was written, and I really thought that was a big pro. I thought it was.
And they did it from certain times. They kind of went back to, it wasn't just like they kept going back to that first scene again. No, they were jumping back at other points within that story, which was it broke it up a bit, didn't it? Rather than the normal kind of linear storytelling, that we got something quite different. So that's definitely a pro as well. Absolutely.
So how did you feel about Chekhov's gun coming into play in this episode?
I didn't didn't even pick up on that one. I picked up on the shuttle.
Oh, I didn't pick up on
the
shuttle.
OV-165, which appears in the opening of Enterprise.
Nice. That's a good.
Wow. Okay. That's the shuttle.
So, wow, that's a good one. So Chekhov's gun is a prop that usually it's a plot point, and I was poo-pooing on, and I believe you agreed with me that Rios there was no point in Rios's side story.
No, not at all.
But it turns out the doctor was Chekhov's gun, because when Picard got injured, he brought her to that doctor. So I was like, oh, look at this. That played off pretty well. So it's something that was a con before has now become a pro.
Yeah. It's not bringing her back as a con for me. I'll tell you what is a con is the fact that when they find him, Picard laying down there, what's her name? The Watcher basically says, all right, let's get him back to the bio bed.
Talons, yeah.
Yeah, it says, let's get him back to the bio bed. And he says, no, it's not going to make kind of any difference. And I'm like, but it did make it. That was the only place that you wanted to take Space Legolas early on in the series. So it was good enough for Space Legolas, but it wasn't good enough for Picard. That's me being nitpicky, to be honest with you.
And for me, I have to be nitpicky too, because he's synthetic. He's not original Picard.
No, that's right.
So shouldn't he have more of an advanced system where it's not quite?
Yeah, like a healing, quicker healing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You figured he would, but
another con I'm not really liking in this is Raffi's obsession with
like Space Legolas.
Yeah, now it's like the ghost of Space Legolas.
That's sorry. That was the first time I'm seeing that graphic.
She's now dealing with
fantastic. You always do amazing work.
Space Legolas, the ghost of it, and it's like this has happened now for about 3 episodes. We've got to get to a point here, a resolution. What's kind of going on? Do we need a doing? It's just Raffi. It's just like someone who's such a apparent hardened, part of the Federation, someone who's very experienced, who's probably seen a lot of action in her time. It's just like she's really struggling with this. And I'm like, where are you taking this? Where's her resolution? And do we have to see another 3 or 4 episodes of the ghost of Space Legolas to appear?
Yeah, probably. Probably. Until it goes off, we're going to keep seeing it.
Yeah.
That's
it's just, it feels very much like a small episode, but I say that in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though it was at a big gala event, it felt very self-contained, which I appreciated as well, because my ongoing rant about bringing back episodic Star Trek.
Right, which we're going to get.
And this felt like a beginning, middle, and end to this episode.
Yes, and we're going to get an episodic Star Trek when we'll be back at it every week doing Strange New Worlds. So be sure you subscribe.
Beyond excited about it.
Oh, I can't wait. Every trailer I see is just like pulling me in.
Yeah, they haven't taken a foot wrong in their marketing, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, they're on point with that.
Yeah. What about Adam Soong? What did you think about that whole scene?
Adam Soong is a villain in this.
Yeah.
And all the Soongs kind of teeter on that, good guy, bad guy line.
Yeah, so his ancestors seem a lot more evil than than the eventual Noonien
Soon. Yeah, Noonien Soon the nicest one out of all the
I think so.
Yeah, the robotics
But
one.
Brett Spiner's great in the role.
Yeah, he's got such a diverse acting range. And one thing that I love, I don't know if you've ever caught any of these, and if you haven't, I suggest you check out on YouTube. Brent Spiner is really close friends with Patrick Stewart, and he does this amazing impression of Patrick Stewart. You have heard it. Brilliant. It's one of the best things that's floating around on the internet.
It's just so on point.
It's so on point.
Isn't it?
Him running over Picard at the end of this is the cliffhanger. It was what brought it all to the time loop that they had in this.
Yeah. Well, it felt like, okay, we've solved it. Picard's ancestor. She's a bit more inspired now after that wonderful chat with Picard. And it looks like it's kind of, she'll get on that ship. But I felt at the end of the episode, her horror they show us a tiny bit of her horror of seeing Picard being run over.
Right.
Whether all that hard work Picard had done has now gone out the window. So
could be, yeah.
Yeah, it's still on kind of show. I had a theory during the week that maybe this was the first contact storyline, where eventually they'll realize they have to actually stop her from getting on the
that would have been cool
on the mission. So rather than get them in the ship, it's like, oh shit, Q's onto something here.
Yeah,
there's a reason why he's trying to stop this, and I still believe that. And they'll come to the realization that Q is actually trying to save everybody.
So that's your future speculation?
I think that is a
future speculation. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's really cool. I feel that there is the alien. I feel like that we're maybe going to find out what the El-Elorians' powers are. Maybe they're able to strip the Qs of their abilities. Because as you notice, every episode he becomes less and less godly.
Yeah.
A couple episodes ago, he snapped his finger because he was going to mess with her, and then nothing happened, and he was like, "Uh-oh." So I'm wondering if
because I've come to realization, is that because of the protection that the Watch is putting over her means Q doesn't have any powers over her,
or is Q losing his powers because maybe that's what the Elorians can do? Maybe that's their power. They're a watcher species. They kind of listen and observe, but maybe they have other abilities that we're not aware of.
What about the theory of being in the end there's a big showdown between Guinan and Q?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Because that would be good, because that would then it would add more weight to when Q is in the next generation and he sees Guinan and how terrified he is of him.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
We may get to see the reason why he's so terrified.
Yeah, that I would be all game for that. That would be fantastic. That's a great future speculation right there. And the catalyst for the wrap up of the season with the anti-first contact equation that you bring up. If it's not that, we still don't know why Q is messing with this point in time.
Yeah, we don't, because I still feel from the beginning of the first episode that and as it was said, the Borg weren't trying to destroy the Stargazer.
Correct.
They were either trying to seize control or get information, one or the two. So, there's something bigger at play here that I feel that all the characters in the show are very afraid. Well, maybe not Picard and his crew because they don't know yet, but it certainly feels like the villains are afraid of something bigger than themselves.
Correct. There's something larger going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like Girardi's going to stumble on it, but go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, too, before we were talking about Brett Spiner, did you read that thing during the week where apparently it was in his contract for season 2 that he would not appear as Data?
Really?
Yeah, it was an article 2 days ago about it. And I thought that was fascinating. And I think that was right thing for him to do. He only said for this season. Yeah. And it makes sense because if you allowed, I think it's good that we're having a break from Data at this point.
Right. Well, he's passed on.
He's passed on. That's exactly right. So, but and we'll talk about a bit more as we go along when you make your announcement.
Yeah.
But like now let's have I was also thinking maybe we should start to theorize now about where each character will end up. In the world of future. Like, where does Jean-Luc Picard at the end of the season, where do you think he ends up?
I think they're going to kibosh the synthetic body.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be able to kind of end that loop. And I believe what the Q is going to give Soong the beginning of cybernetics. And he's going to start improving on the eugenics, because the eugenics war is supposed to be around here. So
they've happened at this point, and the way I heard it or watched it was that he's almost like one of those Nazi doctors that went into hiding in Argentina. Like he was part of the eugenics wars. And as we saw, we haven't talked about this scene too, which is actually the best scene in the show. I can't believe we didn't mention
Big Pro. No,
the Big Pro. We'll have to go back to pros and cons for just a second. The reveal that the clones That when Adam Soong
that's right.
When she discovers,
yes, that was amazing. Yes,
how corrupt he is, and that he's
he
kind of
made
like
clone
a
after
Nazi,
clone. Yeah.
Clone after clone, and had no remorse for the deaths of all these clones. So who knows what number she was along the line?
Correct.
But to me, that was like, oh yeah, Star Trek's going dark here.
This season is so dark.
Yeah.
And
I can't believe I forgot about that scene. That was really great, really well done.
And I really like that actress that's playing his daughter. She's
what's her name again?
A fantastic addition to the series.
Oh, what's her name? Isa Baronis.
Right.
Yeah, she's really good. She's really good. I actually prefer her more in this season than I did the first
season. Yeah, because she was very unsure of herself, and now, But
what about we all think Agnes is going to end up being the Borg Queen. I think that's where the money is at the moment.
Right. We're going to loop up Space Legolas. He's going to come back.
Yeah. Well, do you think beyond the ghost of Space Legolas, he'll come back? Yeah.
I think he'll be back.
For sure.
For sure. I think.
What about 7 of 9? 7 of 9 really has blossomed in this season.
I agree.
She's like, what did Rafi say? It's nice to see a lighter without all those Borg implants.
Right.
She's being able to be herself, and we see that shot of her at the party having a laugh and having a drink and all that. Right. So, because to me, the resolution of that isn't great for 7 of 9, because odds on she's going to end up with those implants back.
She's going to be assimilated. Yeah. So
I know sad thinking about that.
Right. But here's a theory of mine, future speculation, if you will. She may put a kink in a wrench in the machine, because she might come to terms and say, you know what? I don't want to go back to that future, because I don't want to have those implants. I don't want to be assimilated by the Borg, and I don't want those experiences.
Yeah.
So if I end this now, I'm never that way. And I'm the head of the Federation, the Confederation. Forget it.
Yeah.
So maybe there's going to be a huge point where our cop buddies, Raffi and 7, actually have to come to blows, because she's like, no, we got to do this because I want to get Space Legolas back, and I'm tired of seeing his ghost.
Yeah. I mean, she's just having nightmares about the ghost of Space Legolas.
Yeah. And I think that they may end up coming to blows, because she wants the mission to be altered so she doesn't get assimilated.
Yeah.
So I think this could be dark, and it could be like infighting. Yeah. This is going to be so fantastic. This season has been.
I don't see the season ending on they're all riding off to the sunset happily ever after scenario.
No.
I think this is going to be a very Empire Strikes Back ending to this season for sure.
Absolutely. It's going to be very dark. It's going to be brutal. And we're just going to have a small glimmer of hope for season 3. And then Rios, how do you feel Rios' character
is an interesting one, because he really started the season firing on all cylinders, being a captain, back where he belongs. He seemed happy, and he seems really happy in this timeline as well. One of the conversations you have with Rafi about how much he loves the 21st century, the food, the cigars, all that kind of thing. So that's interesting as well. I think you'll find that he won't end up in a great place either. He'll end up being that rogue kind of solo kind of guy again, I reckon, by the end of this.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen the team splitting apart at the end of it.
Yes. I definitely see that happen.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Here's I can't talk about this theory until you've made your announcement.
So let's do that. Let's have our Star Trek.
Do your announcement.
Yes. It has been announced, and it is absolutely true, that the entire cast of the original Next Generation is returning for Picard season 3.
The whole cast.
The entire cast. Gates McFadden, LeVar Burton, Michael Dorn, which made me lose my shit when I heard it.
Yeah, that was the one I got super excited about.
Yeah, because he was having a big fight with the studio. Yeah. But it's new leadership, new directors, new folks at the helm. So that means new contracts and new agreements. So I'm super excited about that.
Me too. I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And here's my my theory about next season. The team will split apart at the end of and this is another future expectation, speculation.
Yeah, correct.
Is the team will split apart at the end of the season, and then somehow the entire crew will get together, like they'll get the band back together, and then they will have to go and save Rios, save 7 or 9. So it might be a rescue mission for these guys.
So the next gen cast is coming.
Completely way off, but
no, but I kind of like that. I think that.
Yeah, I don't mind that idea. We'd bring it full circle that he wants to save all these people that he loves and has cared about over the last 2 seasons. The only people who can help him is the crew of the Enterprise.
Crew. Deanna Troi, Captain Riker is going to be there. Yeah. It's going to be great.
So Paramount Plus, if you're looking for writers for season 3, I certainly will make sure my email address is tagged.
Yeah, as available. Yeah, I am also available. Even if you need an extra, I've already got.
Yeah, look, I'll sweep the floors.
Yeah, he's really good at it. He's got a promotion from it. He's
I did. Absolutely. But there you go. What
an episode.
Yeah, well, it could have been very much a filler episode.
It could have.
But it felt like that's what it was going to be. And it turned out to be
quite good.
An episode that I thought moved the story forward in a positive way.
Absolutely.
Rather than, like I said, some of the hiccups we had with Rios's previous. But we'll see what the Doctor brings to it. Like you said before.
Yeah, she was Chekhov's
maybe there
gun.
is more to that storyline that we're appreciating at the moment.
So. Yeah, like I said, she was Chekhov's gun. Like we had her there. Yeah. We kind of blew her off. And we were like, she's pointless. That was what the hell was the point of that whole thing?
Yeah.
And now we get to this episode. It's like, there it is. It's
okay,
like
she's back.
Yeah, it's like that. The Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
So,
but there you go. We used that clip. I used that when we.
No, I noticed
a segment on the pop culture spread.
Yeah, I've seen it.
We used that one.
Yeah. Steady follow. Pop culture spread.
Yeah, fantastic. Big thumbs up. Can't wait for next week's episode. Have you seen any trailers or anything about this week's episode?
I have not.
I try to avoid them, honestly. I like to be
surprised.
Go in extremely fresh on this stuff. So
yeah, I agree. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. Unless you want to mention anything else, Lieutenant.
No, that's it. I'm looking forward to next week. We might have we were very fortunate last week. We did a show with Jason from TikTok. I can't remember his TikTok handle now. I'm sorry, Jason, if you're
Jason Roy Gatson.
For a show called Ships in Line. He was absolute phenomenal, an absolute treat to speak with. And we're hoping, without any pressure, Jason, we understand life gets away, but we may have him return coming up.
Yes, we definitely, the door is open. He seems very keen on it, just as long as his schedule allows, because you have to keep in mind, he is a father, a teacher, and a TikTok juggernaut.
He's got nothing else. No, he's got plenty of time.
Exactly.
Being sarcastic.
Yeah, I know.
All good. Fantastic. Right. Can't wait for next week, mate.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to say thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for watching. And please, if you don't mind, subscribe, like, share this episode. If you're listening to the podcast, please give us a rating on Apple iTunes. And if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you're always aware of when we have any type of future speculations and or episodes. You'll be alerted even via email. So you'll be in the know of all things Captain Quadrant. And there's more shows to come on Spectrum Sanctorum. I'm so glad you're here, and we will see you then. Make it so.
See you, Captain.